Muy buenos días a todas las personas que se conectan a esta sesión informativa de Colfuturo con University College London, o mejor conocido como UCL, con quien tenemos dos becas del 100%. Mi nombre es Luisa Ayala, hago parte del equipo de Consejería Académica y Relaciones Internacionales y hoy tendré el gusto de acompañarlos en esta sesión junto con Joe Turner, quien nos contará sobre la oferta académica, requisitos de admisión, opciones de financiación y demás información relevante para iniciar su estudio de posgrado en el exterior. Importante recordar que tenemos un convenio que ofrece un descuento del 25% sobre el valor de la matrícula para los beneficiarios de Colfuturo admitidos a UCL para maestrías y para doctorados. Adicionalmente, tal vez lo que más los atrae el día de hoy, se otorgarán dos becas totales por el valor de la matrícula para integrantes del programa de semillero de talentos. Importante además recordar que estas personas, estos semilleros, deben tener mínimo 3 meses de antigüedad en el programa de semillero de talentos antes de la fecha de apertura de la convocatoria anual que tiene Colfuturo. Tengan además en cuenta que para acceder a estos beneficios deben postularse primero al programa Crédito Beca de Colfuturo, ser seleccionados y luego sí poder contar con estos descuentos que nos ofrece el día de hoy UCL. Recuerden que la convocatoria abrió el pasado 9 de enero y cerrará en febrero 29. Without further ado, thank you, Joe, for being here today, and you may start your presentation.
Thank you so much, Louisa. Thank you. Good afternoon from London, everyone. Very happy to join you. I'm just going to share my screen. I've got a presentation to share with you, and hope that you can see that, and I will start. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. I'm happy that you are here. For me, that shows that you are interested in UCL, and I'm always very happy to know that we have more students from Colombia who are interested in joining us. Right now, we have 69 students from Colombia who are studying with us at UCL, and like I say, we look forward to the next generation to join us in September this year, and then the years after. Whatever it is that you know about UCL, if it's a little bit or it's quite a lot already, I hope that you can still find something new to learn today. And the presentation, talks about a number of different things. I will go through it, and then of course, I want to hear all the questions that you have at the end. So I look forward to speaking to you then in answer to your questions. If things come to your mind when I am speaking, please do put your question in the chat and we'll come to it at the end. So why the UCL? Well, you've probably all got your own ideas as to why you're here today to hear about UCL. And whatever the reasons are, they're very valid, of course. But I also have some reasons that I'd like to share with you, just in case you haven't thought of them, as to why I think UCL is a fantastic place to be a student, and why I think that you should look a little closer at us and some of our amazing programs. The first thing to say is that we're pretty good at what we do. We are, in fact, one of the world's leading universities, as you probably know. The list there in front of you, that's the that's the World University Rankings of 2024, and you can see that there we are 9th in the world, among some very, very prestigious, very well-known, fantastic other universities around the world. So we're very happy to be in that list together with that fantastic company there. So yeah, we are 9th in the world, and this is, we are regularly in the top 10 of institutions around the world. So yeah, we're very happy and proud to be there. This year too, we have an extra award. So we have been named the UK, so in the United Kingdom, the University of the Year for 2024. And so, yeah, we're very happy about that too. And the reasons that why we were awarded that, when the panel told us that we had been awarded this prize, so some of the reasons that they mentioned were the amazing research that comes out of UCL, the number of times that UCL is mentioned in terms of its research and citations, the fantastic work that we're doing on sustainability, and the career prospects of our students when they graduate. So those are all really good, I think, benefits and advantages of being a UCL student. We will talk a little bit more about that. Certainly the research that comes out of UCL is something that I like to highlight. As potential masters or PhD students, you are probably well aware of the world-leading research that UCL is undertaking across such a wide range of disciplines and subjects. And the important thing about our research is that we are using it or putting it to really good effect and benefit. We're tackling together some of the really difficult challenges that the world is facing. Because we are a comprehensive university, and by that I mean we teach a number of different subjects, not just specialize in one or two areas. Our academics, our researchers, our professors come together across disciplines and work on problems and challenges. They bring their own expertise and they work together. And in that way, we think they have the best possible chance of getting a positive outcome. So this interdisciplinary or cross-disciplinary, as we call it, way of working, way of doing research is something that UCL is built on, and it works to great effect. And the research that we are doing is really changing all manner of things across a wide range of things, whether it's science, whether it's health, whether it's economics, whether it's anthropological, whether it's space travel, lots of different things that we're involved in. So it makes it a very exciting place. And some of the challenges that together our researchers are working on are under those sort of topics there. So really a wide range of issues that we're looking at. And that research, when it happens, is making the headlines, not just in the United Kingdom, but all over the world. So you will probably read and hear about UCL and the research that's coming out. And certainly here in the UK, when my radio goes on in the morning, and I listen to the news, almost every day I hear UCL being mentioned and the research that's come out of UCL being mentioned. That makes me, very, very proud, but also it's exciting, and it feels really nice to be involved in a university where there's so much innovation, so much research. And so many groundbreaking discoveries being made by really some of the world's leading experts in their field. And for you as potential students, you will be able to benefit from that by being taught by those professors who are also doing the research. So you will hear about these things maybe before you read it in The Economist or in the Nature magazine, or you hear it on the radio. So yeah, it's dynamic, and it makes it really exciting place, as I say, to be a student. And I should add that the professors who are doing the research are also the ones who do teaching. So they're not kept separate at UCL. They're very much integrated, and that's important. Something else that I like to highlight about UCL is that we're a rather different kind of university. Of course, the UK has more than 160 different universities. We're a small country, but we certainly have a lot of choice in terms of the number of universities that we have. UCL is one of the older ones, but we have been doing things differently right from when we started. So we're going to be 200 years old in 2026, so not far off now. But right from when we started in the 1820s, we were doing things a little bit differently to other universities. And that ethos is really important and part of the university that we are today. And certainly one of the things that we've been doing right from the start is encouraging people from very different backgrounds to join us at UCL. In fact, we were the first university to admit students no matter what their social background, no matter what their religious background, and although it took us a few more years, no matter whether they were women or men. So we were the first university in the United Kingdom to open our doors to women on the equal basis as men. And again, that makes me very proud. So we've been doing things differently, and understanding that backgrounds are not necessarily a good indication of what someone can gain from university. Everyone should have the chance to learn, to benefit from education, no matter where they come from. And that's very part at the heart of UCL. And today we have an amazing student body that comes from all over the world. from 160 different countries. It really is a fantastic place to meet all manner of people, meet and make friends with and network with. It's really quite a unique experience. We are nearly 200 years old, as I said, and we've been in one place in London, and I'll talk about that in a moment, in the heart of London, right in the centre of London. But excitingly, last year, we have opened a new campus as well. So we now have two campuses. This is a much smaller campus, but it's brand new. It's been built to our specifications. It's lots of interesting programs which are, again, cross-disciplinary in nature. So lots of different, working with different departments rather than just one department. It's based in the east of London, and it's called UCL East. And it's an exciting development for a university that's nearly 200 years old. I said that we're a comprehensive university. Here is a list of, so we group the subjects that we teach and research at UCL. We group them into groups of similar subject areas. So you will see there that we have 11 different groupings, and we call those faculties. So at UCL, our structure is 11 different faculties of study, and underneath that, 72 different departments, and underneath that, for you as potential graduate students, more than 650 individual master's programs and PhD possibilities across all subjects. So again, a lot of choice, even just at UCL. In terms of what you can expect if you choose UCL, well, here's a little map or a little visual to see. So I've said we're in the heart of London, and this is hopefully shows you that or demonstrates that. It really is it's an urban campus in the middle of the city. We are not surrounded by green fields. We're not in the middle of nowhere. We're in the heart of the vibrant, exciting capital city of London, which has 9 million people, and we are right in the centre of it. And as I said, we've been there on that same site since 1826. So it's a fabulous place to be. We have London all around us, as I hope that you got that sense from that visual there. But at the same time, you know very much that you're at a university. So you walk through the gates of our the main entrance. You will see the university building in front of you. You know immediately that you're at a university. The busy London street is behind you, and you walk through the gates. But you know that you're at a university. So we have a campus feeling with 3 different gateways on and off it. So that's a campus, but at the same time surrounded by London. And I think that combination of the campus feeling, so feeling part of a community with London and everything that London has to offer right on the doorstep, right around next door to us, and surrounding us actually on all sides, is a really compelling mix. And certainly our students tell us the same thing. That's one of the things they love most about UCL, is that feeling in the heart of the city and really getting the benefits and advantages of that. We are a large university. Even though we have this campus, our student body is now 52,000 students, and certainly in the UK that's very large, as a supersized institution. We are, in fact, the largest university now in the UK, and we have roughly equal numbers of undergraduate students. So that's students who are studying from high school to do their bachelor's degree. That's a 3-year program in the UK. And then about half of our students are doing graduate programs, so postgraduate programs. That means a mixture of either master's programs or PhDs. So a really nice mix. I said already, our students come all over the world, more than 160 different countries. But even though it's big, supersize, it doesn't mean to say it's anonymous. It doesn't mean to say that no one will know who you are. Absolutely, we will. You will have people that you can ask, go to. There will be a building, your department building, your program, where your program is based. That will be where you will go and spend a lot of your time. You will see your classmates there. You will see your professors. They will know you. There will be administrative support there, and again, those people will know you. So I think that you will very quickly lose sight of the fact that you are one of 52,000, and you'll feel more like one of a few hundred in your department. And I think that's, again, something really, really nice about UCL. We have some fantastic, I mentioned careers in terms of that prize that we'd been awarded. We have a fantastic careers service at UCL, which works really hard to help students get the most benefit out of being a UCL student, upskilling, understanding their skills, demonstrating those, and also on the other side, connecting you with a wonderful network that we have, because UCL is so well known and highly regarded, and because we are in such a central London location, it means for employers it's a very good place to come. They know that they will find good people, and we are easy to get to. So those two things mean that we have many, many employers coming to the campus ready to talk to students about possibilities of working, or just networking, talking about the industry or the organization that they're in, talking about, tips as to how to get in, what you can do to put yourself in a stronger position to find a job in a particular field. And I certainly would always encourage students to engage with this program, this careers program, right from the start. So don't wait until you're about to leave us. This program runs throughout the year, so it's certainly something to get involved in. And here's just a few of the many employers that UCL works closely with, and where our graduates have recently gone on to. And you'll notice there are some really good and big global companies that UCL students have been employed by. And as I say, employers know that they will find good people when they come to UCL, because they know that UCL selects the students very, very carefully. So this is for you as a potential student, this is very good news, because you will then have, coming onto the campus, many different employers that you can network with and talk to. So that's a great advantage. In terms of where to live, so often students will ask me about this. We do have options at UCL, and I'll just talk through what those are right now. So we have some UCL owned and managed accommodation. We have about 26 in total, and 3 of those are designated residences for graduate students. So they have specific accommodation for graduate students. Sometimes graduate students are not so keen to live next door to the 18-year-olds who are the undergraduates. So it's important that we make that difference. And if you would like to apply for a UCL residence, a room in a UCL residence, then you can do so as long as you follow those instructions that I've put there. So you will need to firmly accept your UCL offer. So the first thing you do is you apply for a program of study. Hopefully, you then get an offer for the program. And when you get an offer, you need to accept the offer. And then after that, you need to apply for the housing. So that's the order of events. And you can't apply for the housing until you accept your offer. For graduate students, we do suggest that you apply as soon as you can. So when you have an offer and you accept it, then as soon as the application portal opens for housing, you can then apply. University accommodation is not for everybody, and some people want a different kind of environment, but there are also private residences, student residences. So that's not just UCL students, but students from across the 40 different universities that are in London. You may be living with students from the LSE, or a student from King's, or a student from Queen Mary. So together with other London students. But if you don't want to be in a student residence at all, if you'd rather do something else, then there are other sorts of private accommodation, flat sharing, and I've put that link up there so that you can then connect through and just see what some of the different opportunities are. There are a few private residences which are just for graduate students and are just for international graduate students, and that's an environment that sometimes students like. So yeah, housing is something for you to go away and look at, but hopefully that's given you some ideas about what's possible. And then going on to the application process and what we're looking for. So this is an online application that you will do. It's quite straightforward. You fill in the application. As part of it, you need to upload a copy of your official transcript. If you have finished your studies already, so you've finished your undergraduate studies, then you need to upload a copy of the final transcript, final results. If you are still studying, so if you're in your final semester when you are applying for UCL, then you will need to upload a copy of your most recent transcript at the time when you apply. And then later on, we will need to get the final transcript just to check it. Along with the official transcript, you will need a personal statement. And in that statement, you need to be talking about, why you're applying to UCL, why this particular program, what it is that you hope to get from the program, what are the skills that you have that you think will mean that you can be successful at that program, perhaps what you aim to go on to do having done the program, and importantly, what you can bring to the program. So UCL is popular and competitive, and we can choose, from when we see applications, we get to choose the best students that we think will be the best fit for our program. And so a sense from you as to what you can bring, and therefore why should we choose you rather than someone else? That's important for us too. So not just what will you take from the program, but what will you bring to it? That's important. Sometimes we need some additional information. That could be something like a GRE score or a portfolio, depending on the subject. And occasionally a sample of your written work, depending on what you want to study. And all of our programs will require at least one reference, and sometimes two. It does depend on which program you are applying for, but you will find that specific information on the program information page on our website. So it's hard to generalize because we've got 650 different programs, but so always one and sometimes two references. That's not a reference that you get hold of and then you upload as part of your application. What happens is that you need to give us the name and the email address of someone who, and this is important, you have checked with already, you have asked them in advance to write you a reference. So you should give them warning and ask them. That's only polite. And then you will then pass on those details to us. And when you apply, we will then send them the link that they then need to log in and give us a reference. So that's important. It's also important to remember your application is not complete and will not be looked at until we get the reference in or the references in. So again, have a chat with the people that you're going to be asking to give you a reference, and do make that clear that in as polite as a way as you can, that could they please, as soon as they get that request, could they do it quite quickly for you? You'll find a nice way of doing it, I'm sure. And then once you have all that information together, you're going to be applying online. Generally, we say that it takes between 8 to 10 weeks for us to make a decision based on your application from the point that we receive it. So that's to bear in mind. There are most of the deadlines that you will see now on our website are the 5th of April. There are a few differences. So do check again, program by program. It will specifically say for that program what the deadline is. So that's important to do. We've been open since October, and we will go on through till early April and sometimes a bit longer, but yeah, do check. And just to point out that if you want to find out more about a particular program, so I'm not a program specialist, I'm a generalist. I know a lot about UCL and lots of other things, but only a little bit about each specific of those 650 programs. That's just too much for one person to know. So the program teams that run the program, that includes the academic staff who are working on it, they are running now and then through until the end of March some online events which you might want to join. You might want to join them live, or you might want to, on demand, take a look at recordings of sessions. So do check the link there to see what's coming up and what has already been, so that you can then have a look if you want to. In terms of our entry requirements, again, really quite hard to generalize because of the range of different subjects that we offer and the number of different programs. But to give you an idea, so if you want to do a master's program, you can see there on the screen, I've put what the requirements are. So where we ask for in the UK an upper second class degree, that's for many of our programs will ask that, then you'll see what we require from the Colombian system, and again the minimum that we would ask for would be for us a 2.2, a lower second class, and again, so that would be like 3.5 would be the very minimum that we would look for, but many of our programs do have a minimum of 4, so check that, and again on a program by program basis you can see that. So yes, UCL is competitive because we are popular, because we're somewhere that lots of students want to come to, and we get many applications. But we also have many students from Colombia who make successful applications. So please do apply. Don't be put off by the large numbers of applications that we receive. Oh, sorry, wrong way. English is an important part, as you would imagine. To be able to study at UCL, our curriculum is rigorous, and we need to know that you are at the right level to be able to follow it completely with no problem in terms of comprehension, that you can engage fully with it, both orally and in writing. And for that reason, we have, of course, levels that we require for English language. There are a number of different tests that we will accept at UCL. They are all outlined on our website, and I encourage you to go in and look at our website to find them, particularly if you're doing a particular, or you've done a particular test and you want to know whether we accept it or not, do check our website. The important thing, whichever test you do, is that it needs to be no more than 2 years old. So by the time that you enroll. So if you're going to join us in September 2024, you need to have taken your test from October 2022 onwards. So in that sort of 2-year window. So that's important. As I say, a variety of tests are accepted. For each of the tests, we say what it is that we require. And we state for each of our programs what level that we need, what level of English language, and the levels go between level 1 to 5. So for example, I've just given you an example there to try and make things a bit clearer. So for law, where there's a lot of reading, a lot of speaking, a lot of writing, we need level 4. Level 4, if you're taking IELTS test, which is one of the most popular ones, that means that's 7.5 overall, and then 7 in each of the sub-tests. For economics, it's a slightly more numerate subject, not quite as much writing, certainly not sort of essay writing in the same way. You need level 2. For IELTS, that equates to 7 overall with a 6.5 in the subtests. Those are just examples of 2 popular programs. And as I say, I encourage you to go onto the program information page to find out the level that's required for that program, and then to check that level against the test that you're taking, so you're absolutely clear that you're going to be hitting it. You don't need to have taken the test before or have the final results before you apply. You don't need to wait for that. But it's important to understand, if you haven't got the English language requirement at the point when you apply, then any offer that we make you would be conditional on you achieving that English language by the time that you join us, before then. So that's just important to understand that. In terms of Col Futuro, well, you probably know a little bit about how the scheme works. But from our point of view, yeah, we're delighted. We've worked with Col Futuro for many years, been a partner, and this is a very successful and long-standing partnership. As you will know, you will be applying directly to Col Futuro. And the awards are open both for master's and for PhD study, so whichever. The hard deadline of the 29th of February is one definitely to have in your mind. Don't miss the deadline. At UCL, the standard scholarships are worth 25% of our tuition fee. So that's a 25% reduction on the published tuition fee. And then we have, as Louisa mentioned at the beginning, the 200% master's scholarships, which is 100% of the tuition fee. So that's that's a great one, obviously, and always popular. Apart from Col Futuro funding, we also have other scholarships that you may be interested in applying to. One I just wanted to highlight here. So I've put there the website of our scholarships website. Always a good one to go and have a look there. Recommend that you have a look. But just to point out one scholarship which I think might be of interest, that's called the Global Master's Scholarship. That's for all international students who are applying for master's programs at UCL. It's open to all those students. There are quite a few available, so 80 of them. They are given on a financial basis, and these are quite generous scholarships of £15,000. So do have a look at that. The deadline is there. It's May, early May. So after you have applied, you would then apply for the scholarship. There are other scholarships available. This is one of the more generous ones. So do check the website for details. Sorry, gone the wrong way again. And that's it. That's all I had to say. I'm going to obviously open it up to questions now, but just to, and I will answer just as many as I can. There may be things that I either can't answer because they're questions that I don't have the answer to right now, or there may be things that you think of after today and you think, oh, I wish I'd asked Jo that when she was there. Then please feel free to use my email address to follow up with that afterwards. You're most welcome to do that. But for now, I will stop sharing my screen and come back and see whether we've got any questions, Louisa.
Well, thank you so much, Jo, for this wonderful presentation. We have some questions in the chat, but before reading them, if anyone wants to ask Jo their question live, you can raise your hand and I will give you the permission. So, I'm going to read the first question from the chat. So, does UCL have music postgraduate programs? Is it possible to work while studying a postgraduate program? 2 questions.
Okay. 2 questions. The second question, yes, it's possible to work while studying for a postgraduate program. The visa that you come in on, which will be a student tier 4 visa, which everyone will need to be able to join a program, that allows you to work up to 20 hours a week during the semester time. 20 hours would be too much. You are a full-time student. If you also tried to work 20 hours, you'd be not enough hours in the day. So we normally recommend, no more than about 10 hours, but it's certainly possible to work. And you can work either on or off the campus. So yes, that's possible. The first part of your question, or of the question, is an interesting one because this person has managed to find one of the very few subjects that we do not offer at UCL. So the list of subjects that we offer is very long, but it does not include music. So I'm very sorry if that's your thing, that's your passion. I can confirm that there are many universities in the UK that do offer music. So if that's the route that you're going to take, then you'll find somewhere good for sure.
Okay, so Christian Torres wants to ask you the question live. So
okay, great. Hello, Christian.
Hi, Jo. I wanted to know, are you able to hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Perfect. First, thank you for the presentation. It was really helpful. And my question is in regard to, there are a couple of master programs that in the study mode is like part-time and full-time. I want to know if this scholarship of the 100% for the semillero program in Col Futuro applies, for example, if I want to study like a part-time master, which means 2 years.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunately not. So for 2 reasons, I think the scholarship is only available for 1 year full-time study, and actually as an international student, you would be required to study full-time at UCL. So that part-time route wouldn't be open to you. So where there is that option, you need to focus on the full-time 1 year, sort of 11.5 months is what it is, version of the program.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have a question from Andrea. She wants to know how can they apply for scholarships at UCL?
So UCL scholarships, some of them are part of the, so once you have applied to UCL, so sent in your application, there is a portal, an online portal where you will be applying, and you will then have access to that. You will be able to track your application and see when there's movement, decision, etc. And there are also ways within that. That's also where you apply for the accommodation, for example, if you want to. And there are also ways of indicating that you want to apply for. Some of the scholarships work that way. Others will ask you to apply in another way, so to fill out an application and to send it, for example, to the department. So when you look at our scholarships website, for each of the scholarships we offer, it should be clear what the application process is.
Perfect. Question from Carlos. Can you confirm if you have DVA or PhD programs in management? If so, how would you apply for a scholarship? Well, you said before about the scholarship, but
Yes. I think just to so yes, PhDs are available for in all areas at UCL. We have a school of management, so that's certainly possible. It's important with PhDs, and I didn't really talk about this aspect, but rather than just making an application cold, so on an online application, PhD applications are different. You will be getting in touch with professors beforehand to discuss the possibility of being supervised by someone, which is essentially what it is at PhD level. And you will also then, once you start a conversation with them, part of that conversation will be about funding opportunities, whether there is funding available from within the department to cover students who are studying for PhDs, for example, or if there are other routes that they are aware of for students, international students studying that particular subject area, external agencies which may provide funding. So the funding piece for PhDs is slightly different, but there is some good information on our website, so do check that out.
okay. The university have options for couples accommodation?
Yes, that's sometimes a question I get asked, especially for students in the part of the world where you're all from. We have very little, actually, very little. The majority of our accommodation is what we call a single study bedroom. So they're designed for one person only, and the couples accommodation that we have is a very small part of the 6,000 beds that we have available at UCL. So if you are a couple, some of that in the and you're looking for accommodation in that alternative accommodation where I gave you that link, have a look there, because there you can find things specifically for couples.
Perfect. Gabriela Gonzalez, you're allowed to ask Joe your question.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to confirm if you're hearing me well and without any connection issues. Okay, perfect. So I have a question, one regarding the IELTS test, but I consider that you have already answered it. And the second is kind of a personal question. I am one of the first members of my family to have graduated from university, probably only one considering to study abroad. So for me, the application fees honestly are quite expensive. And you say those are around 90 or even 160 pounds. So in our currency, that's almost half of the minimum wage or the minimum salary. And I'm wondering if perhaps you may have any sort of financial aid for these application fees.
Yeah, thank you, Gabriela. Unfortunately not. It's something that we hear a lot from students from various places in the world, and we appreciate it's a lot of money just to make an application when you don't know even what the outcome will be. But really, the only circumstance that people can apply for a waiver of that application fee is when they have been displaced, for example, as a refugee from one country to another. So it's really in extreme circumstances that that a waiver would be given, and not because of the country that you come from or your own financial situation. Unfortunately, it is different. So if you do decide to apply and put that money to the application fee, some of our programs require a deposit. To if you're offered a place, to confirm your place, to pay a deposit of the some of the tuition fees. If you are applying for a scholarship, we can delay the payment of that deposit until you know you have the scholarship, and therefore you know that you're coming. So we can help on the deposit side, but unfortunately not on the application fee. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait a moment. We have a lot of questions.
Lots of questions.
A question from Leonel. I should have a visa before starting pre-sessional course. What will be the deadline to get the visa?
Okay, so the way visas work, you can only apply for a visa 3 months before the start of your course. Now, for most students who are starting a master's program with us, the start date will be the end of September. So you will be applying for a visa no more than 3 months before that time, so the end of June. If you're going to be joining a pre-sessional course, that will bring your start date forward. So yes, you would then go 3 months before your start date for the program. That is the point when you can apply for the visa. So there isn't a deadline when to apply for the visas, but there is a date which you can't go before a certain start date, if you understand what I mean. So it can't be more than 3 months before, but it could be any time between that. I think it's important to understand that, visa offices get busy. And so ideally, you would want to be applying for the visa when we at UCL give you the document that you need, which is called a CAS number, to then apply for the visa in Colombia. You will once you get an offer, and once it's an unconditional offer, and once you are 3 months out from the start date, you will receive that document, and you will then also get instructions as to what to do. And we also have a visa team that run drop-in sessions, or that you can live chat with for advice. So that's a little bit further down the line, but hopefully that helps you understand what's going to happen.
Does UCL accept PTE for language requirements?
Oh, is that a certain test? I'm not familiar with that.
I believe, Jorge, if you could please explain what is PTE.
Yes. So we certainly some of the common ones: IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, Pearson, I think, our pre-sessional course, of course. But yeah, I'm not familiar with what PTE is, and off the top of my head, I don't know if it's one. But like I say, we have got a comprehensive list on the website. So please do check there.
Okay. Manuela Fernandez, you may ask your question. Yeah.
Hi, Joe. Thank you for all the information.
Hi,
I want
Manuela.
to ask you a question regarding the scholarships. Am I able to to try to be accepted to 2 scholarships at the same time?
From UCL's point of view, yes, there's no problem with that. And we certainly, over the years, we have seen that students now come often when they join us. The way that they have funded their studies is by a bit like a puzzle, with different elements of funding to make up the whole. So that may be, a scholarship from their home country, a scholarship from UCL, a part scholarship, another kind of scholarship, maybe some personal savings. So, and altogether that's how they fund their studies. So full scholarships are very, very rare for the United Kingdom, I would say. That makes us a little bit different to somewhere like the US. So it is possible to apply for more than one, yes.
Great, thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have a question from Santiago. What is the income range where a household is classified as low income want to apply to the scholarship?
Oh, for the Global Master Scholarship. Off the top of my head, I don't know that. I'm not sure whether or where we publish that. I'm making a note, and I will feedback via Covuturo about that. But also feel free to prompt me by writing me an email too. Thank you.
Oh, Nicolas Merchan, you can wait. Yeah, that's it. You may ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me well?
I hear you, Nicolas. Hi.
Awesome. I have two questions. The main one is regarding to the cost of living, because as you know, London is quite expensive. So I'd like to know a little more about the cost of living. And the second one, you mentioned about the visa. So do you think that are we able to apply by ourselves, or do you need an agency or something like that?
Okay, great. Two really useful questions for everyone to hear the answers to. Thank you for asking them, Nicholas. I'll deal with the second one first. So the visa system is, I would say, fairly straightforward. Students are applying, thousands and thousands of students every year are applying for UK visas. And each university has, as I mentioned, resource in terms of a visa and immigration team who can be in hand to help. So we certainly don't say it's necessary or necessarily recommended to work with an agent. That may cost money, and it shouldn't really be necessary. As I say, advice can be found from the university that you're applying to. In terms of the cost of living, a great question again, and I should have put the link maybe in my presentation. I'll remember to do that another time. But we do have on our website, there is some really useful information that kind of breaks down. We look at it either on a weekly or a monthly basis in terms of what your likely costs might be. Again, as everything in life, it's hard to generalize, and what sort of normal amount for one person may be way more or way less for someone else. But we kind of take an average as a suggestion, as a starting point. So you will find there all the different elements, sort of line by line, things that you would have to pay for. So accommodation, food, travel in the local area, laundry, books and supplies, entertainment, all those sorts of things, and you will find a price against them, on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis. So I would encourage you to look at that. That has recently been updated because, like lots of places in the world, London and the UK, prices have gone up. So we have updated those costs to try and make them as accurate as we can, so that people are very clear. And it's absolutely right to be asking that question right now, because it's really important to kind of do your budgeting and work out how much it's going to cost you on top of the tuition fee, which is fixed, and about that, but how much will you need to live on? How much have you got? Where do you need to apply for another scholarship or get some money from another course? Do you need to then perhaps think that you will work while you study? All those sorts of things are really important. So I don't have those figures in my head, but as I say, they're all there on the website, and I encourage you and everyone on the call to have a look at that.
Joe, could you please share your email again?
Again, of course, yes. Shall I just put it in the chat? Shall I?
Perfect.
Yes, I'll write it down the bottom. why can't I write?
Oh, or if you want to share your screen, that would be okay too.
Oh, okay, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that last slide. Yeah, that's a better idea. There we are. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Yeah, joe.turner@ucl.ac.uk.
We have a very interesting question from Laura Carrillo. What are the core skills that a UCL student must have?
Oh, love that one. Thank you. That's a great question. Yeah. Oh, I think some of the things that we look for in our students are curiosity, the wanting to find out more, being a critical thinker. So not just accepting what somebody tells you is a fact, or just accepting that what you read is the right way to think about something, but actually asking questions and developing your own ideas. And often also that will mean having a different opinion sometimes to other people that you are in the class with, or perhaps your professor. And that is all encouraged at UCL. So it's certainly not the case that we think that the professor knows everything and that students are expected to follow and just sort of repeat what the professor says. So that idea of being a critical thinker, of developing your ideas in a supportive environment, is something that we hope that you will develop further when you get to UCL. But we also hope that you have a little bit of that in you already when you join us. I think people who are genuinely interested in their subject, who take the opportunity to find out more. I think being a UCL student, you have so many different benefits and advantages, and one of the things that makes a great UCL student are the people that come with the mindset to take all those opportunities and make the most of them. So really use their time well, and don't just go to class and kind of like switch off afterwards, but really engage with the community. Our departments are full of interesting people who are, yes, world leaders and in their field, and the fact that you get to mix with them, to network with them, to speak to them, to hear from them, that's a wonderful advantage. And London also has many advantages. It has many resources that you can use. So people who are really sort of inquisitive and want to learn more, that's something that I think that we look for very much.
Okay. Is it possible for the person who's gonna give me a reference letter to write it in Spanish?
Thank you for asking the question, whoever asked it. I should have said that and I forgot to, so that you've prompted me. No, absolutely. Part of the process is make sure you choose someone who can write the reference in English, and knowing that may affect then who you ask, because yes, if we receive a reference in Spanish, we will just ask for it in English because we can't read it. So yeah, references must be written in English. So again, choose carefully who you ask to write your reference, because it could have an effect on the outcome of your application.
Jorge is asking, is it possible to update the CV that I uploaded after I have applied and paid the application fee?
Usually not. No, only in the case of an error in the wrong document being uploaded is it possible. What you will find is once you have applied, it's not possible for you to go into your record and change things. Only later do we open up again your application record, and that's when you can upload a new document. Say you haven't finished your studies and you need to give us the final transcript, or say we're missing your English language requirement and you need to upload that. But we we discourage people from changing. Otherwise, it makes it very difficult for us to know when an application is complete, when we can look at it. So once you have uploaded it, so if it is a genuine error and something, you've attached the wrong thing, you've uploaded the wrong thing, then you should contact the admissions team via their contact form on the website and take that up with them. But yeah, otherwise, if it's just, oh, I've done a different CV now, then yes, we don't tend to accept changes like that.
Joe, could you please explain again about the conditional offer when they don't have the English?
Yes, of course. So if you apply, your application is put in, and we make a decision whether we can accept you or not, whether we want to give you an offer. We can give you one of two offers. One is a conditional offer and one is an unconditional offer. Now, an unconditional offer means that you have met all the prerequisites that we have asked for. So that is, you've finished your studies at the level that we've asked for, and crucially, you have the English language test at the right score in a test that we accept. And so you've met all the conditions that we set, you've met the requirements, so then your offer would be an unconditional offer. Now, on the other side, if you apply, you have finished your undergraduate studies, so you have your final transcript, but you are going to take the TOEFL test next month, but you applied today, and so when you apply, you don't have the English language test results to give us. If we look at your application and we still don't have an English test from you when we come to make a decision, and if we like the look of you, then the offer that we will give you in that situation is a conditional offer, because at that point, we don't know whether you have met the conditions, the prerequisites that we ask for that program. So the offer is conditional on you attaining the level that we ask for in the test that we accept by a certain time. And the important thing about a conditional and an unconditional offer comes back to the visas, because you can only apply for your visa. We will only issue you with a document that you need for your visa when your offer is unconditional, because that means that you are that much closer to be able to join us. But while your offer is still conditional, it may be that you don't pass the IELTS test at the 6.5 or 7, and therefore we wouldn't be able to confirm your place. So the visa element is an important part of that conditional offer. So what happens if you have a conditional offer and then you get your English test and you upload that and we see, oh yes, you met it. In fact, you might have exceeded it, the terms of the offer, then we will then confirm your place. We will switch the offer from conditional to unconditional. And then in the 3-month time scale that I talked about for the visas, we would issue you with a document that you need for the visa. I hope that that's clearer.
Yeah, I think it is. And with that conditional offer, they may apply for a scholarship, or they have to wait.
Yeah, no, that's fine for a scholarship. It's also fine for accommodation. If the offer is conditional, you can apply for both of those things. Absolutely, there's no problem with that.
Okay. We have someone who raised their hand, Isabella Gomez. You're allowed to speak.
Hi, can you hear me?
I hear you, Isabella. Hello.
Perfect. Hello, thank you. So I have a question about the sponsors. My company is going to make a sponsorship to my tuition fee, but I don't know like what is the timing or when they can do that deposit. If it's not from the initial deposit that I have to pay for completing like the conditional to accept an offer.
So that deposits are not payable for all of our 650 different programs. In fact, the list of programs that require a deposit is actually quite small. You can find that list on the website. if the program that you are applying for is one that does require a deposit, then in your circumstances, it's quite specific to you. I would suggest that you get in touch with me, and I can advise you on that, and we can look at the timing. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Let me see, because we have a lot of questions. Is it possible to apply to multiple scholarships at the same time?
It is, yes, it is. I think we had someone asked something similar to that. Yes, you can. Yeah.
Is it possible to apply to more than one master's program?
It is possible. I think the important thing to understand is that each application to a master's program is a different application, and therefore you have to pay the application fee again. So if you're applying for 2 programs, you have to pay the fee twice. You have to complete 2 separate applications. You have to complete 2 separate personal statements, which are relevant to the program that you are applying to. You have to ask people for the reference twice because they met, yeah. So there are some circumstances where people absolutely want to apply for 2 programs, and that's fine. But sometimes when I mention the cost, that puts people off. And also, you know, just it's worth just explaining or confirming that if you apply for 2 different programs, they will be processed separately by the program teams that administer them. So there is a possibility that you will get 2 different outcomes. So if you get an offer for one, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be successful for the other one, and vice versa. If you are unsuccessful in one, it doesn't mean to say you'll be unsuccessful in the other one. You could get one offer and one unsuccessful. So it just depends. That's something to point out. And ultimately, of course, even if you get 2 offers, at some point in the process, some point along the road, you have to make a decision between those 2 programs, because you can't enroll for 2 programs. So it's just something to think about. But yes, it is possible. It is possible.
Okay. Joe, it is okay for you to stay 10 minutes more
I
here?
can do 10 minutes more. Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
So we have, let me see, Santiago G. You're allowed to speak. Yeah.
Hello, Joan.
Hello.
Lisa. Thank you
Hello,
for
Santiago.
your presentation. I have a question. Can I apply for a scholarship with a conditional offer or not?
Yes, you can. You can. You don't need unconditional offer for the scholarship application.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any opportunity for UCL international students to work within the university in part-time jobs?
Yes, there is. So we have sort of work that our students do sometimes is, working in the library, working in one of the cafes, perhaps working in, if you have some kind of skills, like IT skills, you could work in the IT help desk, for example. General administration, we sometimes want help with. There's a student ambassador scheme where you would then be welcoming prospective students to the campus, showing them around, answering questions, perhaps doing presentations. So there are a number of different jobs that you can do on the campus. One thing we don't have, and sometimes I get asked about this, is sort of opportunities to be like a teaching assistant, or to work actually in the department that you're based in, to do some sort of teaching or research. Those opportunities would tend to be just for PhD students rather than master students, but definitely other possibilities are possible on the campus.
Does the transcripts needs to be official, or could it be free transcripts?
Yeah, needs to be official, please. The final transcript needs to be an official version. Yes.
Does UCL only have starting dates on September, or do you have a spring intake?
No, we are September only, so only one start point. Everybody starts at the same time at UCL. I know that there are some universities that are different in the UK, but UCL, it's only September start.
And which is the deadline for them to apply?
To start in September, most of the program deadlines are the 5th of April. A few of them will have passed already. So yeah, you need to check the website. Check the website anyway, because there are varying deadlines depending on the program. So it may vary, but I think, you know, at least 75% of them are going to be 5th of April 2024 deadline to join us in September.
Perfect. Gabriela Gonzalez, you may speak. Wait, that's it.
Oh, I have already asked my questions, so thank you for your responses.
Okay. I was selected as a beneficiary of Colfuturo in 2023 for a program at UCL and later joined the seedbed. So far, I'm going through the admission process. Can I participate in the 100% scholarship process? Let me give them the answer.
Yes, please.
I'm going to switch to Spanish because it's easier.
Of course.
Si ya participaste en el 2023, las becas del 100% ya fueron asignadas y las becas del 2024 serán asignadas con preferencia a los que aplican en el 2024. Sin embargo, si alguien ya participó, de pronto participó con otra universidad y ahora quiere ir a UCL, el 25% sí les aplicaría de forma pues casi que automática porque es para todas las personas, pero las del 100%, si ya fueron asignadas, no, que es lo que suele suceder. Las personas que aplican en el año de la convocatoria actual son las que usualmente reciben este descuento.
Thank you.
I think the last question, yes. Camila Gonzalez, you're allowed to speak. Wait. I don't know. It does. That's it. You may speak, Camila. Or don't. I don't know.
Or not. Hello, Camilla, are you there?
It seems that she's not there.
No.
Well, Joe, we have a lot of questions, but I think that the best way is for them to write to your email. Could you please show them again
Show again. Yes, yeah. Good idea. So if you have questions, please do write to me. My email address is there on the screen now, jo.turner@ucl.ac.uk. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, please. No problem.
Thank you very much, Joe. So that concludes our webinar. We really appreciate you taking the time today, and it was a pleasure to listen about UCL. And with no more to add, have, well, a good afternoon and goodbye.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining. It's been a pleasure for me to be with you. So thank you very much. And thank you, Louisa, for hosting. Thank you. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Bye.